Hey everybody, what's going on? So we've got a Arrma Kraton 6S up here on the table. So we're definitely not going to blaze any new ground here because unless you guys have been living under a rock, you all know exactly what this vehicle is. So I'm not really bringing this as a review. This is like kind of what I've done to this truck so far, my thoughts after owning it for a while, kind of as a first time Kraton owner sort of perspective. So maybe you guys will learn something, maybe you won't. Maybe you're looking to buy one of these, and you're looking for some for some poor schmuck doing a video in his basement telling you what he thinks about it. So hopefully you'll stick in there and we'll check this thing out. So, like I said, this is the version 4. It's got quite a few upgrades done on this over the versions before it. Most notably is probably the body is different and the motor mounting system is different. So it's a little easier to work on stuff. And we'll take a look at that in a second, kind of what the difference is. Now, if you own a version, 2 or 3 or something, is it worth going out and buying a 4? Probably not. And I think most of this stuff is cross compatible anyway, so you could buy the parts for the new one and upgrade it. I think most of this stuff is you can upgrade to the latest versions of. So we've got a red body on here. Now, when I bought this, it came with this blue body, which we'll take a look at. I picked this red one up off of eBay. I guess someone had parted out a truck or something. I'm not sure. I know there's people buy these things and then just part them out. So I picked up this body for a really good price. I wanted a red one anyway, so I've kind of kept this as a shelf queen body. The blue one here I have beat up pretty bad, and I'm not complaining about that. The bodies on these, they are thin. They're not the most robust. They are beautiful bodies. The paint scheme on this is just beautiful. It's very deep. It's very detailed. Now, this is one of the differences in the body is right in here. It is wider. So it is, kind of in the cab is a wider look to it than the previous versions. I do believe you can put the bodies will cross match. So you can put a version 4 body on a version 3 and stuff. You can put a version 3 body on a new one. The only difference is the sec you run the T-Bone Racing roll cage. Those are different. So just kind of be realized of that. It does have the nice captured body clip, so that's nice. Now I have went ahead and done Flex Seal, about 2-3 coats of Flex Seal in this. It adds a little weight to the body. Now originally I have actually Gorilla Taped one of these bodies. It worked. It was very heavy. It was hard to do this. The spray Flex Seal works very well. It's sort of almost like a rubberized undercoating, so I coated this body with that. Added, like I said, a little bit of weight. It allows it to flex seal to still flex, but I think what will happen is, if it goes to rip or something, it's going to give it a little more tearing resistance and should make it a little bit better. Now, one of the things that happened to this body is I took a really bad kind of front flip and landed, before I put the bumper on, it sort of landed right here on the nose and pushed it down. As you'll see when we take this off, the shock mounts right here on the front, they tend to get into the body, so right here you can kind of see it actually punched through the body, kind of cracked it through and dented this side. So I do have a nice, dent in my body right there, which it's not a big deal. The roof is kind of scratched up a little and stuff like that, but basically I keep this as the look pretty on the shelf body. Now if I want to go out and really bash the hell out of it, we put the blue body on there. I wanted the red one originally, but honestly, the blue body, I think it's a really good look. So I'm kind of on the fence of which one I like better. The red only because of all the red accents, but definitely do have the blue body when we want it. So other things I've added to this, I went ahead and added the T-Bone Racing, I think this is the V4 front bumper, and I wanted the big bash armor front end, but they were out of stock. of that at the time. So pick this one up. No big deal there. I still think it looks good. That's one thing, if you guys get one of these trucks, definitely get a front bumper for it. RPM makes a good one. I'm a big fan of T-Bone Racing. This thing is just beast. You know, for the version 4, definitely it mounts up a little different up here in the front, and it works out really well. So let's go ahead and pull the body off. We'll take a look on around. I said another body here. Went ahead and flex sealed this one. Got a little bit of bubble in it, but no big deal. So you know, we're all protected there if we do take that out and run it. So let's go ahead and turn this around here and take a look at it. I believe these are the copperhead tires that this comes with. It is it's a great tire. It hooks up really well. They balloon a little, so if you guys, you know, backflip stuff, you do have some of that control in the air. It does give you a little bit of expansion for tricks and stuff like that, but they don't really turn into an exact pizza cutter at speed. So that's cool. A lot of people complain the wheels look cheap. I like the way the wheels look. You do get the red hexes and everything with it. Now the blue truck, that looks a little weird, but it is what it is. No big deal there. I wish all these companies, Traxxas, Arrma, all of them would just make all this stuff black. The red stuff, cool. The red tower braces and stuff, all right, it's cool and stuff, but honestly, just black the thing out. Make them chrome. I don't know, something like that. But, you know, let's get rid of the red wheel stuff. Let's just go to black. That's just me personally, though. You got the all metal frame on this one. Now, a lot of people say that these do bend. Now, yes, they will bend. You can bend the chassis. But then again, guys, this thing's not a rocket ship. Like, if you send it 40 feet in the air, something's going to break, okay? It's not indestructible. Anything can be broken if you hit it hard enough. So yes, you can make this thing where it'll survive 40, 50-foot jumps. But, you know, just mind you, if you're expecting to go buy this truck out of the box and launch this thing off skate ramps, you're probably going to be disappointed. You're going to break something. That's anything. You're going to have to reinforce it. But short of that, I got no problems with it. I'm not a huge basher. I don't jump my trucks 30 feet in the air. I mainly drive this one on fields and in asphalt. I actually love that. I'll talk about that in a minute, how I drive this thing. Now, if I start jumping it more, yeah, I'll do some upgrades to it. I know I'm going to have to. I have no problem with that. So one of the upgrades, just so while we're talking about it, is these chassis braces here. So you've got your tower-to-tower brace, and hidden down in here, you've got these braces that go from the shock towers down that angle in here. They are nylon, plastic, polymer. They're plastic. And they will break. They will break up here on the shock towers, and they will allow, especially the back of the chassis, to bend. I would go ahead and pick some up from M2C, from just Bash It, even Hot Racing. Make some really good aluminum center braces that you could add to this, and it adds a lot of strength to this truck. I will definitely be doing that in the future, just in case. Now, they also, I've heard people talk about, you know, bending the metal shock towers up here, because these are a little thin. Just Bash It, M2C, all those make thicker towers up here you can get if that's something you need. Do you need to do that right out of the box? No, I don't think so. But just mind you that if you're going to really be sending this, then yes, you're going to have to upgrade some stuff. Now, right here in the front, right here, this is where I was talking about. It does come through the body. It'll kind of hit right there. No big deal. The suspension on this truck is just super plush. Just feels amazing. No complaints whatsoever so far. The thing handles like a dream. Now, the motor right here, hopefully you guys can make this out, but so the old motor setup in this, you actually had to take all the bolts out from the bottom and you pulled the power unit out as an assembly. You know, basically the whole drive unit came out as an assembly. Now you actually have a sliding motor mount. So with the sliding motor mount, now they are Loctited, so you will have to get in there and be very careful undoing those. Is you can actually undo 2 bolts here, and the motor will actually just slide out and come off to the side. Now, the nice thing about that is I went ahead and put my high-speed pinion on here, and I actually love it like that. So it's actually a lot more fun to drive. I think it's a 16-tooth that comes with the truck, so I went ahead and changed that out. It's really easy to set your gear mesh by just that motor sliding. So really nice upgrade going to the version 4 with the sliding motor mount. That's a big help. Good electronics in this, Spectrum stuff, but I want to say that's Hobby Wing rebranded. You do have a lot of adjustments on your ESC. That's one thing I like about it. It's pretty easy to program. I haven't tried a program card on it yet, but works pretty well. Now, I will tell you the one thing I did get for this is, and I've kind of unboxed it to look at it, but this dual turbo fan kit. And heat sink, and you can get these in blue, red. I looked out and got the black one on eBay from Power Hobby. I've run some of their batteries and stuff. I'm actually waiting on a jumper harness to come in so I can to make it a little easier to plug these up. But gonna go ahead and put this heat sink in there, because one thing I did notice the other day when I was driving it on asphalt, and this is really no fault of the truck, it's more of the way I was driving it, is it got really hot. I actually sent it into thermal shutdown twice. It wasn't that hot out. It was, high 70s, right around 80 degrees. But now I was doing, basically accelerating really hard, getting on the brakes, sliding the back end loose, sort of drifting it around, not really locking the brakes up totally, but, a quick tag on the brakes, get the thing sliding, get hard back in the throttle, and kind of make it slide around, pop a little wheelie, and take off, basically pulling some drift action on it. So I was basically never really letting off, and then getting hard on the gas, hard on the brake, hard on the gas, hard on the brake. I really heated that motor and ESC up, and the fans and everything were running, but I did get that motor really hot. I mean, you could feel it under the chassis, and it was really, really hot. So definitely going to put that fan on there. Hopefully that will cool it down and help this actually run a little cooler. But other than that, really no problems out of it. I was running 5200 milliamp LiPo, 80C LiPos on EC5 connectors. So that's what I was running power-wise. Now, the one thing I do want to do to this is, and this is kind of a quality control thing with Arrma, I've got to check my diffs and everything when I take them apart. I'm going to update some of the diff fluids in here, but that's video for another day. But the wheels on this have a lot of slop in them, especially the fronts. I mean, those wheel nuts are tight. I'm definitely going to put some washers in there. Arrma, you could do better. Definitely got to put some washers in the wheels. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not going to break anything. It's just annoying to me, and it definitely is not going to make it drive as well. But that's one thing that I did find. Wings, scratched it all to heck. Whatever. I'm going to have to, I'll get a wing's like $12, whatever. I'll order a couple and sit on them if I have to. Moving around to the back here. Now, the one thing, I saw this on some forum stuff, people talking about, no, it doesn't really wheelie. Bullshit. This truck wheelies like a damn madman. Big if here, okay, if you're from a dead stop and you just hammer the gas, I don't even have the punch turned up on this. I'm still running the punch at like 3. So it's still set on factory punch level. I turned the punch up higher, and I was like, no, definitely no. Turn the punch back down to make the throttle a little smoother. And this thing, if you kind of get it almost stopped in a turn, get back hard on the throttle, it will stand straight up. Now, if you roll into the throttle a little slower, yeah, once it starts hooking and going, it doesn't really wheelie, but I went ahead and put this T-bone wheelie bar on there just in case, to get a little rear bumper wheelie bar action going on back there, and that's worked out really well for me. Now, you can put, I think it's the Notorious or the Outcast, something, the wheelie bar to hook kind of on the wing back here. Didn't really like the way that looks, so I went with the T-bone Racing. So spinning on around here, battery compartment over here, you can run this on 6S, 1 6S, 2 3S, 1 4S, twin 2S. So obviously the 2 3s and the 2 2s are going to make either 4S or 6S. The battery tray here does slide up and down if you guys have never seen that. So if you have one battery, it'll kind of close down. If you have 2 batteries, it definitely prefers 2 batteries or a big 6S pack. I don't run 6S because I don't want to put that much money in a battery pack that I'm only going to use on a single truck. I have another truck that runs 3S and stuff like that. So using multiple 3S batteries works better for me. It opens my options for batteries up. But you can choose to run 6S on this if you have boats or something. You got a lot of 6S packs. Yeah, you can run 6S all day long in this. It does come with the loop connector to block off one of your ports here if you want to run a single battery. It's IC5. That's Spectrum's new smart battery. It's EC5. It's a smart EC5. Battery straps. I did break a battery strap. Whatever. Ordered a new one. It's $5 from Arrma. You have the long battery strap that goes front to back, and then one that goes around. You do have a nice little kind of capture thing over here for your balance plug. I never really use that. I just sort of tuck it into the side. But really happy with this truck so far. I know I'm kind of rambling, just hitting high spots here. Chassis looks cool on this. You know, it's getting a little scratched up from gravel and stuff like that, but no big deal there. People make skins and stuff for it. Really dig the truck though. So I'm sure I will own more Arrma products in the future. I love my little Big Rock 3S. It's a lot of fun. I'm thinking about a big Kraton, thinking about a Kraton 8. But so far, definitely digging the Kraton. So this thing is, like I said, guys, this thing's a lot of fun. If you do flex seal your body, it makes it a little hard to get the pins to line up. But yeah, this thing is it's turned out to be a beast. It's definitely a lot of fun to drive. If you guys are a basher and you want to jump the hell out of something, yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you're just a flatland guy, I like driving this thing sort of like a race car. You know, it just handles really well. One thing, the 400-pound elephant in the room, 400-pound gorilla, whatever. You know, the big ugly guy standing in the corner, is the steering on this truck. The steering on the Kraton sucks. The servo saver is way too weak, and the steering servo is underpowered. The servo problem, if you guys don't know, is basically they Loctited everything together so it wouldn't come loose, but the problem is you can't adjust it because it's virtually impossible to break that red Loctite loose on a nylon part. So you can basically take the steering servo steering pieces apart, add ball bearings where the bushings are, and then you can add some circlips in to the steering servo and make it stiffer. That helps. I will eventually do that. And then I'll eventually put a little beefier steering servo on here and update it. Flat ground, if you hold up, it steers pretty quick, steers fine. But when you get it under power, you know, when you get it in a turn, and you're kind of powering it and you're under power and you try to go into a turn, the servo's working, but it just can't overcome that steering servo. It's too sloppy. So it just makes the steering really, really, it's like a wet noodle. It just doesn't steer properly. It handles well. I mean, I'm not saying don't buy it, but just mind you, the steering is a weak point on this truck. If they ever come out with a version 5, they need to fix that problem. Like the way they fixed it on the Kraton 8 version 2. The version 4 of this truck is way better than the version 3, but the steering on this truck is probably worse than the version 3 because you can't adjust the steering servo. So Arrma, please fix that. In fact, honestly, I think if you fix that on version 5, you should honestly help people out that have a 4 and stuff to fix it because it's a problem. You knew it was a problem. Yeah. Getting off my soapbox now. But I love the Kraton. I bought this one from Tower Hobby. I got this actually a really cool way. I got this on their Easy Pay. So it was like, I think I got it for $5.49 split into 3 monthly payments. So that was kind of easy to buy, so didn't have to throw down all the money at once, do it on a credit card and make monthly payments on it for 3 months and paid off, so that's really cool. But it does come with that crappy Spectrum radio, whatever. I'm getting ready to bind this to my Fly Sky radio, so no problem there. Going to be over and done with that. But yeah, guys, let me know if you got any questions, whatever. Let me know what you think I ought to do. If you got any steering ideas, let me know. Servo ideas, I'd love to hear it. Battery suggestions, I'm always looking for good batteries. I like cheaper batteries. I don't like to spend a fortune, but definitely look for some input from you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy.